Robbie Owen, thanks for joining us. You're a senior partner at Pinsent Masons, and you've been talking today at this Runways UK event about, I suppose, the process of getting from recommendation for an airport expansion at Heathrow to making it happen. Are we as a nation better now at actually delivering infrastructure through the planning process?
I believe we are getting much better. We've had a new system in place since 2010, the national planning system, and that has now delivered just under 40 permissions for a variety of energy, transport, water and waste projects, and projects as large as Thames Tideway Tunnel and Hinkley Point C have been consented successfully under that regime. So there's no doubt in my mind we're much better than we used to be in the bad old days, where you'd have interminable public inquiries and then inspectors' reports gathering dust in ministers' offices for many months and sometimes many years. So I think we're getting much better.
But we do still seem to be hamstrung by democracy. We do seem to be having to go through an awful lot of processes, whether it's via a hybrid bill or whether it's via a DCO. Do you see a project such as Heathrow expansion as being, I suppose, a seminal moment in trying to really accelerate that process?
Well, I think it will be a test for the planning regime, the biggest test so far in the current incarnation of the regime, because it is so big and so complex and obviously so controversial. But High Speed 2 is coping well, going through the hybrid bill process at the moment, and the Select Committee of the Commons is doing a good job. So we are showing that we can do these big projects if they're properly planned and managed. I'm upbeat about it.
Okay. You, of course, has been spent a long while working with Sir John Armitt on the National Infrastructure Commission. Davies Commission, there was a certain number of similarities. I suppose, firstly, was the Davies Commission a great way, or a good way, or a better way of actually getting us through this first stage of a planning process?
Well, time will tell, of course. Whether it's filed vertically, as some people say, or actually implemented. But I think it's been an excellent exercise to really thoroughly look at the evidence and come up with a clear, unanimous set of recommendations. The hope is that will be a very good grounding for Heathrow taking it forward if the government agree it should be taken forward. But I think we certainly saw, working with Sir John Armitt, we saw the Davies, the Airports Commission, as being quite a good sort of prototype for a larger National Infrastructure Commission.
Right. Because of course Sir John was on the Davies Commission while he was promoting the Infrastructure Commission. Where are you with of course the new government's come in and it said it's not interested really in a National Infrastructure Commission, but where are you? Are you reviving it in any way? Are you trying to depoliticise it and to bring back a commission?
We certainly haven't lost all hope. We are looking at taking forward on a slightly different basis, perhaps sort of washing some of the red off it, and if I can put it that way. But certainly we still think the basic rationale for having an independent body looking at the country's long-term infrastructure needs on a proper evidential basis is as necessary now as it was before the election. It's a question of finding a slightly different formulation of that proposal that finds sympathy with this government as opposed to a government of another colour.
Any timescales for that?
Well, I think it's important to sort of strike in the first year or so of the Parliament. So we are working on plans to bring forward something that looks a little bit different, but has the same basic hallmarks. Perhaps a little less clunky, as some have described the former proposals. So I think I would say within 6 months or so, something will emerge that we would hope will find some favour with the Chancellor and the Prime Minister.
Okay, and I suppose finally we are talking about airports today. If you're a betting man, which you're not, maybe you are. Will we be seeing a runway built at Heathrow by 2025?
I think on balance we will, actually. Yes.
We'll come back and discuss that in a few years' time.
Indeed.
Thanks very much, Robbie.
Pleasure. Thank you.